Hi everyone, Holly Reardon here. I am with my longtime bestie and contractor at Hapacity Marketing, Sarah Roland. And today we're going to learn a little bit more about her and our plans for Hapacity and the future of marketing. So, Sarah, it's nice to have you here.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Let's jump in with the first question. What led you to get into marketing in the first place?
Ooh, my passion in high school was graphic design. I really kind of latched onto that as what I wanted to do with my life, doing graphic design. I went to community college first. That's the way to go, save some money, and continued following, that graphic design dream. Eventually went to NAU, Northern Arizona University, where I majored in graphic design and communications. After that, I kind of got off track. I sort of took a couple of odd jobs, one being the manager of a day spa, but I was still in charge of all the marketing there. So it was really fun to just kind of experience something different and in a business that I didn't know anything about when I joined it. And I got my affinity for crazy hair colors. And I've been coloring my hair ever since I worked there. But yeah, after that, I ended up at a real estate school, which once I was there, we kind of got bought out by a bigger company. And I was able to work my way up to a manager position running launches. So any new like classes or products or partnerships, I was in charge of that. Yeah, so that's kind of how my journey brought me to marketing.
I love that. And what would you say with all of that amazing experience that you've had? What is your unique approach to marketing?
This is such a hard question. I think of it as playfulness, I guess. I did an internship for a museum and gallery when I was in college, and I had so much fun with that because I was given, 100% creative freedom. So that's always great. But I really got to play with the art that we showcase. So, designing postcards and things like that were so much fun because I could play with the shape or the colors of the art and make one uniform piece that like actually gives you information but is still really beautiful. Yeah, so I guess aesthetics and like genuine and
Authenticity.
authenticity. Yeah. The marketing world is so big and there really is room for everyone. You can be kind of as creative and bold as you want and it'll make a difference.
Love that. So what do you feel like is coming in 2024 or beyond for marketing? So any type of like changes, trends, anything like that that you're seeing?
Well, I mean, I think we have seen a little bit more focus on people in marketing and less about like the products, the discounts. It's more about like the feeling that something gives you, which I think is absolutely the right direction to be moving in. When it comes to brand loyalty, that's super important. Social media for sure is huge right now. I know that TikTok is throwing all their eggs in their TikTok shop basket. There's a ton of influencers that are doing reviews of products and things like that. It's kind of everywhere right now. It'll be interesting to see, yeah, if that kind of maintains itself. Those algorithms that are watching everything they do and they're always being improved. And now with the addition of AI, like it's going to get even more intense with their targeting and frankly manipulation as to what you see, on your feed and what you're absorbing. So definitely a huge impact.
Mm-hmm. And so we work with a lot of small businesses, especially a lot of woman-owned, women-run businesses. What about that is so compelling to you? And why do you feel so like drawn to serve that particular audience?
Yeah, I'm surprisingly, I think I've only had one or two male bosses in my life. I've always worked under women. It's probably not common, but it was great for me. I had great experiences. Frankly, women rule the world, and everybody's just pretending like they don't. So the more women that we can actually get who are super passionate and, dedicated to causes to be public and speak out and get them out in front of more eyes, the better. Pop culture right now is kind of intense. Like we were talking about TikTok a little bit. there's a lot of like men versus women. And I think that we really do have to, elevate women's voices above all of that. And for it to be about positive things and making changes and things like that, so that we can kind of just steer everything in the right direction, I guess. It's just great to see a woman succeed. Obviously, as women, we champion them. They've got what it takes, and not everybody believes that they do. So I love the fact that we're able to kind of boost their confidence and train them on how to sell themselves.
I also heard this podcast recently by the CEO of Good American. She was talking about how we have to ditch the idea that we have to have it all. It's setting ourselves up for failure, thinking that we need to be perfect in every which way. It's about being intentional with our time. And I think that kind of builds off what you're saying is like, it's so important for us to market ourselves.
Yeah. And I think, with the turn of women in the workforce, it's like we took on the mantle of also being a breadwinner, but then we didn't let go of any of the other responsibilities. So it's like all these women are trying to juggle and do everything, which is probably a whole nother issue. But yeah.
That's kind of what we do for our clients is like we try to take work off their plates so that way they have more, room to breathe. People tell them all the time like, "Oh, you should be having a presence on social media." Well, that would be great. All of them would love to do that, but where like how does that fit into their schedule? And that's where we come in.
And I mean, it can be definitely very overwhelming for somebody who either has no interest in being on social media or has never really done it before in a, business sense, or even the personal side. It can be pretty daunting for somebody who has no clue what they're doing. So that's where we come in, and we can kind of take over but also teach them along the way, and, like I said, boost their confidence and show them who they really are, which is somebody amazing.
Yeah, I totally believe that too. I feel like we can see the potential in someone before they can even see it themselves.
Yeah.
So next question, what was it about Hapacity that you felt like that was the right next step for you? That's where you belong.
I mean, I'm not even going to lie and say it's anything else. You and I have worked together before. We've been friends for a couple of years now. Time flies. I just know that you're good people. Like, you can see your drive, your intelligence, your dedication, like all of that is like apparent just when you meet you, when somebody meets you. So for me, it was never a question of like, is Hapacity? It's like, will Hapacity take me? So
Yes.
yeah.
I love that. That was so sweet. That made my whole day, maybe my whole year. I don't know. That was so sweet. And the love is like thrown right back at you. No brainer.
Yeah. I mean, I can go on. I could go on. I love like your branding and everything is just like so. I mean, everything you've done with Hapacity, I think is just like top notch. Like, it doesn't seem like it's this is just some, 20 something, running a business, no big deal, like plain website, whatever. Like, you've done everything to the best like level that it's all professional. Like, yeah. And
Yeah.
everything's beautiful and I love it. So yes.
It's got to be fun to work with the colors that we have for Hapacity
Yeah,
branding.
for sure.
I had this thought probably like 2023 of like, if I want to make this a thing, if I really believe in this, I have to believe in myself and I have to show up how I want to be perceived.
Yeah.
And so last year, I mean, I just put in a ton of work into the brand and myself because I really believe in it and I believe in what we're doing for clients. Everything that you said is so on point in terms of like, I feel like we give confidence boost to our clients because we believe in them more than they may even believe in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is just like a sisterhood. And I love it. Like I really just like love what we do and I love working with you. And I just feel so grateful every day for your support.
You and me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not worthy. So looking back on your career and maybe even just like your life? Was there a standout lesson or piece of advice that you heard that made a big difference on you?
That's such a hard question, because I think in each kind of era of our life, we get different pieces of advice that really mean a lot to us at the time. Communication obviously is like so, so important. And I, in my work life, am very, upfront, direct. I try to just kind of hash things out and get things worked out so that there's no confusion, I guess, or sometimes drama. But yeah, I think communication is just so, so important. And I'm sure somebody had told me that at one point. But any legit, like any advice you give me is like a golden nugget that I that I try to store in here, for such a young age that you're at. Like you've done so much and you are so wise about so many things. And I'm sure some of that has to do with like your job history and stuff like that, but it's also just who you are. So, yeah.
I think that's a good one. Communication. You are just like an incredible communicator and very clear, and you never go about anything very aggressive. I think it's also like your people pleaser tendencies of like you want to make sure everybody's good. You're
You
the
good? You good?
peacemaker.
You
Yeah,
good?
you good?
Yeah.
So I love that. I appreciate that about you.
Thanks.
What have been the biggest things you've learned since working together?
The biggest thing, I don't know. Honestly, you've taught me so much.
Right back at ya.
Oh, thanks. You just taught me so much about like different writing styles for sure, because since my background is design, I've had to kind of try harder when it comes to writing certain things. And you were like a whiz at it. So one of my favorite things is sitting in a document and watching you go through and edit things, because I'm just like, yeah, that's how I should have done it the first time. But I'm trying to like absorb as much as I can from you. I feel like no matter what, I'm going to continue to learn from you, and I'm sure vice versa. But
having you counting on me holds me accountable for the things I know I need to do. So that's made a huge difference on me. The fact that we're so similar and so different at the same time, it's nice.
Yeah, it's a match made in heaven.
It is. How would you describe your personality type?
Well, I'm a 9-wing-1 in Enneagram. So I'm a peacemaker slash one is what perfectionist type tendencies.
The wing.
Yeah. So yeah, I really want everybody to get along. I want to get along with everybody. If people aren't getting along, I might try to make them get along. So I'm an aggressive peacekeeper. Really, I just love seeing other people succeed. My friends, my family. I want to support all of those people in any way that I can. I have a lot of siblings, in-laws that are just very talented, very smart, creative, unique people, and they're all kind of entrepreneurial mindset. So it's been so cool to watch them just like blossom. And I want to not only help those people that are in my life, but also other people that are out there that had this potential that they're just not quite grasping onto yet. Yeah.
That does describe you well. Like you're such like a teammate, you're a supporter, you want to uplift everyone. You believe in people so much.
Yeah, and I think teams are like the best thing, especially if everybody in a team can be depended upon. I think that teamwork makes the dream work, and having a bunch of different people's not only like perspectives but talents, it like rounds something out, whether it's an idea or a campaign or whatever, which is why I love working with you. And I can't wait until someday we can expand our team and bring more people in.
Yes. So I want to thank you, Sarah. I've loved having you a part of Hapacity. I've learned so much from you, and I adore you and our Spotify playlist. And I can't wait for the future. It's going to be awesome.
Me too. Thank you
Okay,
for
that's all, everybody.
having me.